praise the Lord for Legacy Christian School.
Yes.
This is the latest of the miracles that God has performed that is enabling us to reach into the community to have the kind of impact that we want to have. And the way that it's come about reminds me of how God goes about deliverance. You know, I was reading and talking to the men of the church about Samson and how God desired to deliver Israel from their enemy. And the Lord went to Samson's mother and said, you're going to conceive and you're going to bear a child, and he's going to begin to deliver the children of Israel from their enemy. Well, Samson had to come into the world. He had to be taught to walk, taught to speak, learn to eat, learn to do all the things that children did. And all this time it was God's intent to deliver, but God had his own time. And I don't know what age Samson stepped into his ministry, but I know that it was many years after God's desire. So many years after the Lord put the desire in us for a Christian school,
Amen.
he brings it to pass.
Yes, he does.
And I don't know, it hasn't been quite 20 years, but it's been 12 to 15 years from the time it was in our heart. And the way that it happened is most amazing. A young lady came to our church who had a daycare center, and she had it in her home, and she had been there for years, and she was trying to get out into a building. And in her disappointment, she came to our church one night, doing choir rehearsal, was sitting in our church, and I walked out and saw her and prayed for her. Didn't know at the time what her prayer request was.
When we met her again, actually, she had heard about Black Boys of Distinction. And that first year, because we had such a tremendous waiting list, her child was not able to get in.
That's right.
So she watched Black Boys of Distinction from the periphery. So the next year, when she knew we were getting ready to open up enrollment, not only did she bring her son to be a part of it, she immediately became involved in Black Boys of Distinction.
Yes, she did.
She brought back to our attention that she was the one that you had prayed for about the daycare and how well the daycare was doing.
Right, and then not long after that, she became a member of the church.
Yes.
And she started Black Boy of Distinction Junior at the daycare.
Amen.
And her name is Kathy Miller, by the way, and she is a tremendous saint of God, loves God,
Yes.
and she's a go-getter.
In 2001, God placed the vision in my heart to start a Christian preschool. Over the years, God continued to grow it, to nurture it, and to water the preschool. During that time, I was blessed to have crossed paths with Apostle Tommy E. Quick on several different occasions. Over time, our hearts became knitted together around mission, around serving the children of our community, as well as meeting the needs of the people in our community. In 2015, God blessed us, Legacy Christian School, to become a ministry of the Promised Land. By that time, He had blessed us to go from preschool up through 5K. And in August of 2017, the building of a new facility on the campus of the Promised Land Ministries, located at 150 Kensington Drive, manifested. I would just like to thank God for how the vision has manifested and allowing Legacy to become a ministry of the Promised Land. And I just want to go ahead and give you a heads up that Legacy is and will be for years to come the premier private Christian school in Spartanburg.
Amen.
And over the last 3 years,
Yes.
we moved that school from a daycare to the 3rd grade, adding a grade each year. And we are certified by the South Carolina Independent School Association.
Yes.
We have all the necessary credentials and certifications to be an elementary school, as well as to serve kids from infant, amen, to 4 and 5K.
Yes.
We have a wonderful staff that came along with them, retired principals, educators, people that have worked in the Department of Education of South Carolina, going around helping schools to raise up their grades. A tremendous staff who are on mission
Yes.
They're not just working for a salary, but are on mission to make sure that our children have the best chance at success, both spiritually and naturally.
Amen.